Let's begin with a look at Matthew, obviously, in the satellite picture there. Pretty good look at the satellite picture. A lot of definition in this image here, which is pretty good because it gives you a better idea of exactly where the storm is and how big it is. Hundreds of miles across for this entire cloud shield here. Last night I was looking at some measurements here, and it was over 600 miles across. So it's just a tremendous storm. Look at these bands all the way out here, past the Virgin Islands, all the way over here, all along Cuba and up to the north now. Our entire area under hurricane warning, which means hurricane conditions are possible within the next 36 hours. And here's a look at the hurricane wind field. So what you're looking at here is you're looking at, in the red, hurricane force winds, in the orange, gale force winds and tropical storm winds in the yellow here. And as we move up through the next few days, here's Thursday afternoon, tomorrow afternoon at about 3 o'clock. And you could already see tropical storm force winds extending into parts of our viewing area. And I think actually this may be a little behind in time. I think we could start to see tropical storm conditions as early as mid to late morning tomorrow or sooner. And then as it pushes in during the overnight hours, Thursday into Friday, those hurricane force winds are very possible in our area, which is why we have a hurricane warning in effect. And then it moves off to the north by the time we get to Friday afternoon, and that's pretty much that. So here's the official track from the Hurricane Center. Winds at 125 for now. So it has weakened into a Category 3, but we do expect it to re-strengthen back into a Category 4 as it moves to the north. So in the line right here, see this little gray line? That's connected to this box right here. So that's 2 o'clock today, moving up into the southern Bahamas. Then, as we get to early tomorrow morning, that's 2 a.m., that line right there, so moving up through the central Bahamas. And then by tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m., we're looking at it moving into the northern Bahamas, and here's where we start to see those tropical storm conditions really filling in. And then the highest impact will be overnight Thursday into Friday morning. This is when the storm gets very close to our coast. As we've been mentioning, there are several computer models that have a landfalling hurricane in our viewing area overnight Thursday into Friday, and several models that keep it well offshore. But we have to be aware that any little shift to the west could bring that storm right in along the coast, and that is just an extremely dangerous situation. And then as it moves up to the north here, we're looking at the storm losing some strength as it moves up along the Carolinas there and eventually up toward the mid-Atlantic states. So we've got a lot to look at here over the next couple of days. Felicia and I are going to continue to show you this because we keep adjusting it a little bit. This is the day-by-day what you can expect to help you plan out the next few days. And there's a lot to talk about in here, Felicia.
A lot to talk about, certainly right, Glenn. This is really the last day where you have to make any of your last minute preparations. Now, I know you might say, oh, you're saying later on Thursday, we'll time that out for you. But today, really, you're going to already start to notice that conditions are worsening. The winds are going to pick up, especially as we head into the later part of the day. You're going to start to get those outer bands of rain. And those, of course, are going to have heavy rain associated with them. There is still a slight tornado threat for today as well. Winds today out of the northeast, east-northeast, 15 to 30 miles per hour, and picking up, gusting higher as we head into the later part of the day. Heading into early Thursday morning through early Thursday afternoon, tropical storm conditions are certainly possible, especially early Thursday afternoon. Winds 30 to 60 miles per hour, possibly even gusting higher than that. Locally, rain 1 to 3 inches. So what that means is in small areas, we could see up to about 3 inches of rain, which of course is a lot in a short period of time, and a slight tornado threat. Things really start to deteriorate. The conditions get much worse later Thursday into early Friday. This is our time frame here. Thursday, 6 p.m. into 5 a.m. Friday morning. So we've got these overnight conditions getting worse. Winds peaking 60 to 70 plus miles per hour, an additional 2 to 4 inches of rain, and a moderate tornado threat. Impacts on Friday still going to be hanging around early with winds very high, 50 to 70 miles per hour, an additional 1 to 3 inches of rain. But the tornado threat will begin to diminish as Matthew moves farther away. Let's take a look at your 7-day forecast. You can see here Thursday and Friday, certainly when we're feeling the most impacts from Matthew, late Thursday into early Friday. Matthew will eventually begin to move away from our area, and we'll get actually much nicer weather as we're heading into the weekend. But this is something we do have to keep an eye on, and of course, we have to make it through these next couple days.